Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is Rideshare Daily, and this is Elliot. You can see me. Some shadows going on over here. It's evening time. I'm taking a little break. So last night, um, actually before I get into last night, any of y'all that celebrate Valentine's Day, observe Valentine's Day, whatever the case may be, I guess it's a good tradition or excuse to get some love from somebody, to show some love to somebody, to be loved and let somebody know that you love them. You feel you got feelings for them. Um, y'all doing your thing. It's also a great night to drive. It's a busy time. People are going out. They're gonna eat. They're gonna have some drinks. They're gonna be doing their lovey-dovey thing, being all romantic. So I will be driving because I don't have that opportunity tonight. So um, I did what I could do, but I gotta work tonight. So it is what it is. One thing I will say though is You know, love is not a February 14th occasion. Love is something that is every single day. But that doesn't mean that you can't do something a little bit different, a little bit special. You can't use it as an excuse to go out and celebrate and spend time with somebody that you love today. So if you get that opportunity, go do it. And if you can afford not to work tonight, you can afford not to drive, and you have somebody to spend that time with, I would say take the night off and go do it. Let me get all the fares and tips. Now I'm just playing, but also, so last night, real quick, just want to do a quick story on, I guess, what happened. I had an XL trip, uh, just over a half hour away, up at a resort that I often drop people off at, from downtown up to the resort. So I drop them off, and right away I get a request from the same location for an X trip going all the way back downtown. So it was awesome, right? But the X rider probably thought it was going to take me a while to get there. So I'm there right away. I'm not having to move or do nothing because I'm just there. So he's taking his good old sweet time talking to somebody else, and I can see him. I'm looking at him, and he don't even see me. So I'm sitting there a good 5 to 10 minutes just waiting on this dude. So what I did, I started the trip. Probably a couple minutes into it, I'm like, this dude just chilling, just talking. So I'm gonna start the trip. I ain't tripping because it's a 30-minute ride, so it's a decent fare. But the problem is, normally I don't do that. I don't start the trip normally till they're in the vehicle. And because of that, when he got in the vehicle and we started rolling again, I swiped accidentally. Instead of swiping to start the trip, I swiped and it completed the trip. And we had only rolled like maybe 50 feet. So I started and ended the trip on accident, the same location where I picked him up. And then the whole trip down, it was asking me to rate him. So I had maybe like three requests that came in while we are driving because the app's thinking that my trip was already done. And I'm like, it's a not supposed to be like that. But he wasn't tripping. He didn't care. The problem is though is that when I got to where I was going, I did go ahead and complete it by rating him, but then I had to contact support to let them know, hey, I did take this passenger 32 minutes to the destination as requested in the app, but accidentally closed out the trip at the pickup location. So they had to do a fare adjustment. So stuff like that happens from time to time. If that happens to you, it's not a big deal. It's not something you need to be worried about. Um, just make sure that you follow up with Uber because Uber is not going to automatically do the fare adjustment. Same thing goes with Lyft. They're not going to automatically do it and just assume that you drove the passenger the full trip. So you need to contact them, let them know, hey, this is what happened, and and I did drive them to the actual destination in the app. And then they do the fare adjustment, and then your money shows up later on. So that money didn't show up last night. It showed up this morning in the app, so it was there, which was cool. So on my way up there, I probably made like 30 something dollars, and coming back, I think it was like 16, 17 bucks. So that's all I want to say about that. Is fare adjustments. Sometimes they're necessary. Sometimes your trip doesn't start on time or end on time, due to either user error, which was my case. That was my problem. It was my accident. Or due to glitches in the app. So if you have glitches in the app, let's say it's not your fault. Let's say you didn't swipe when you weren't supposed to swipe or whatever. And I wish Uber, if you're paying attention, I wish y'all would create a way to go back, because that accidentally happens from time to time. Sometimes you're not even trying to touch it and you're just moving your hand, but because you're moving and you have a touch screen, sometimes it'll like double tap the screen, or it'll swipe on accident. It happens. And yes, it is the user's error, but it's something that is common. It's something that's too easy for it to happen. And I have had it happen where I start the trip, I swipe once, and just with my finger being close to the screen, it'll automatically complete the trip, which is not cool. So I wish there was like a back button for when you accidentally complete the trip, but it's not completed yet. It would go back to still being in progress. That feature does not exist yet. So if y'all are paying attention, look into that. But what I was going to say is, if you have a glitch in the app, which often happens, let's say your network goes down, or the connection fades out and you lose the trip, or some kind of way, I've had this happen. You're online in the middle of a trip and you're not even around your phone, near your phone, you're not touching your phone, and your app goes offline. Anything like that happens. Um, or there's changes in the destination that were not recorded in the actual trip, just reach out to support, and support should be able to help you with those type of things. And it should be able to make the fare adjustments. So that's my little story for today, for Rideshare Daily. Fare adjustments. Happy Valentine's Day to those of y'all that celebrate it, and let someone know you got that love. You love them. That extra love. Peace.